Yes. Welcome to Jittles.
Alright, enough of that shit. Let's get this show on the road.
Oh, hello and welcome to Indefinite Lunch and Infinite Combinations number 198, where we're talking about For All Mankind. Oh, you know what? Okay, you know what? Okay, I got to do a little background check here. I was wondering why it wasn't working. The Rumble, the green part of my live streaming, and I've got to do this, and now it should work. So now Rumble can join us. There we are. We're all good now, I think. We'll see. Let me double check that because we're going to tighten it, and I want them to join us too. Tighten it, and I want. There we go. They're working now.
Okay.
I forgot to add them in there. So I'm glad you've been able to join us today, Philip. This is going to be an interesting episode. That's why I wanted to make sure everybody was here for that.
Oh, yeah.
And actually, if you are on the Rumble side and you stream on Rumble, if you know any good chat bots, I've seen a few out there that I could try, but I need one for over there because my current bot does not play with Rumble. Let's see. Hello to Jamie in the chat, and we've also got Penny. She's going back. She's going to be right back for a run. Yeah, she's got to go pick up some pharmaceuticals. So that's important. Very, very important. Medical supplies are in this episode. Although, yeah, hopefully what happens to, that's that's good. So I'm a little bit all over the place today, but we are going to talk about the Sirens of Titan. This is the 7th episode of For All Mankind. It just aired a few days ago on May the 8th, 2026. And so the Sirens of Titan is taken from a novel from 1959 called written by Kurt Vonnegut.
Kurt Vonnegut, yeah.
Have you read it, Philip?
Yeah, yes, I have. It's one of my favorite books.
For real? Okay, can you give us a brief synopsis? You don't have to say too much.
Well, I mean, if anybody's read Slaughterhouse-Five, it kind of plays within the same kind of thing, but instead it's the richest man in the world basically becomes sort of stuck in a specific thing that's kind of hard to pronounce for me, but it's like a infinitum kind of thing. And so he's going out and it's kind of like a space exploration thing, but not really. It kind of breaks down into like elements of like time travel and then alien contact with the similar, set of the aliens that they run into in Slaughterhouse-Five called the Tralfamadorians. And so it's interesting because not only is Malachi Constant like the richest man in the world, but when they get to Titan, there's a little bit of a thing, and I don't want to really spoil any of those elements too much, but essentially the story is about him becoming unstuck in reality as opposed to being unstuck in time.
Oh, okay. That sounds very intriguing. I got to read that book. That sounds, and it's one of your favorites, so that's also good. So thank you for letting us know a bit more about that. Old Man Bird says, as if Mars wasn't cold enough. Hail, fans of Jill, panelist Philip, anti-derivative Jill, happy chatting. Yeah, glad to see you, Old Man Bird. We're talking about For All Mankind today, and the synopsis is, this is from their Wikipedia page. A fatal miscalculation puts the Titan mission in jeopardy, and Deb makes a drastic decision. And I don't know if it's drastic or monumentally stupid or evil or what. And I think I started this season thinking Deb was a good person because we've seen streaks of the selfish nature within him to want to push, to drive, to succeed in all of this and to change the world. And sometimes that desire puts people in, like, it inconveniences individuals in ways that he does not foresee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
But
think he has a lot of honorable traits in him, but then there are the undesirable traits that are also present in him that are definitely rising to the surface this season than in previous seasons.
yeah, and okay, so but I've seen before where he would make mistakes and then he'd realize the impact these mistakes are having, and then he'd walk it back and do the right thing. But this season does not seem to, I keep waiting for it to happen and it's just not happening. So my question today that I want, like, because it happened last season. He did something
Mm.
that was short-sighted and he realized it and
Well,
he did a good thing after that.
yeah, I mean, we'll get to it when the time comes, but he
Mhm.
definitely takes it to a level that he's never taken things before, and when he gets to that, and he's like crossed his own personal Rubicon, it's like now you've gone way far. How you walk, you can't walk that back. It's pretty much a permanent decision now. So maybe he can still change, but within that context, it's like now that something has happened, and there's now going to be ramifications from that. He's not going to be able to come out as clean as I think he would hope he would.
You're saying he's buying into the sunk cost fallacy here. Like
A little bit.
he's already in deep. He's got to go all the way. Hello to Gavin. Okay, so my question today that I want you to think about, Phil, while we talk about the episode is, are they turning him into a villain this season?
I mean, that's a good
I
question.
hate to say it, but yeah, but we can talk about it as we talk about the episode.
Yeah.
So let's bring up. We've got slides, we've got notes, and I've got to balance the two, and so that's a fun thing. I can't just, let's see. We are gonna look at it this way. Let me fix the layout. Where is it? There it is. Then we make the chat go skinny. There it is. All right. Now, this is Cosmos. This is supposedly 6 months after the launch. Well, we're going to talk a little bit about the timeline issues, which was also on the wiki page as a problem. And so that is
Yeah, there's a little bit of I think out of any episode, this episode was actually probably the worst in terms of timeline because you have like
Mhm.
multiple dates that don't quite match up, and yeah, when that time comes, we're going to try to reconcile it and see what happens.
Yeah. And Sojourner is approaching Titan. But so is Cosmos 1. Cosmos 1 is ahead of them. And they begin their sequence to enter Titan's orbit. But their burn is not good enough. It is not slowing them down at the right speed. They've miscalculated their density. They've done all this stuff that made it so that they are not on a proper path to Titan. And it is really, it's a gut-wrenching way to start an episode. It's a gut-wrenching teaser.
Mhm.
Walt is doing his best to, to try to get them to figure out how to not die. But he says, "Oh, shut down the Helicon coolant loop. Overcrank your engine. It'll burn out pretty quick." But they don't have time for that. I guess that's just, but my question is, why didn't they realize this problem? Why did they only realize this problem as they're going in right at this moment? Isn't this something they could have foreseen?
The
Oh,
Cosmos One people,
yeah.
yeah, I think that even they mentioned in it that they were like trying to rush to get there, and so maybe it was just something that in the rush to get there, they weren't really considering all that thoroughly. But yeah, I mean, I'm not entirely sold that that's the last time we see of them, to be honest. But
Well, it was the last time we heard from them because the
yeah,
radiation knocks out their communications.
well, I'm thinking
And
that it could be like I don't know, like a Mars thing where maybe not all of the cosmonauts on Cosmos One survive, and maybe there's a couple of them that make it to landing. That's more of like a future
Landing
episode thing.
where? They're stuck
Hmm?
in the gravity well of Saturn. How do
Well,
they get to Titan?
that's what we're told, but
Oh.
it could be something else going on.
Oh my goodness.
Because I mean,
Okay.
they did lose communication with Sojourner on the way down
Yes.
for a little bit,
Yes.
so it's possible that there's something else.
Well,
There's more to it than
permanently,
that.
because they're going to Titan and they've not gotten any more communications from Cosmos.
Yeah.
Try a nose high dive. And what's interesting about this is the things that they're trying here are exactly what Kelly does at the end of the episode to get on Titan. I know spoilers, but this is I've been waiting all season for this, Philip. So we're going to talk about all of it. And
Yeah, as we
it's
should.
just so this is they do. She does a nose dive. She does all that stuff. It works for her, but not for
Mhm.
the Cosmos crew.
Yeah.
And we know that because they still were in communication when they said it didn't work, and now we don't have any more propellant, and we can't get any more without landing on Titan to produce more. And so now the Sojourner is concerned because they're on the very same trajectory as the Cosmos, and so they try this idea next. I mean, like I said, the nose high dive to give them more drag, which is exactly what Kelly does later. But this time for them, it is insufficient for their situation because because Alea is going to give her some new calculations that I guess made her landing more successful.
Yeah.
So no matter what Walt helps, he tries to help. He does his best. And I really like this because, you kind of see Walt as this antagonist who's just a jerk, but he's a good scientist too. He knows what he's doing in space, and there's a reason he is commander.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's written by Jovan Robinson and directed by Dan Liu. It's good to get a new director. That's also fun. I love to see different creatives. I don't think we've seen Dan Liu this season. I don't know if he's in any others, but there's our. Then we cut back. Well, and before we actually get past, I gotta mention. Were you able to make it through that teaser without, like, I cried like a baby? I don't know if the first time I saw it, it was really, it really hit me hard.
I mean, I was very. I thought it was a very strong way to begin this episode, and I was kind of thinking that when the teaser was over, I was thinking that we were going to be like just on the Sojourner the whole episode, but then I started thinking that no, we still have some more story to go, and there's only like 3 episodes left, so it has to intercut back and forth. But
For sure.
yeah, I mean, I was pretty much locked into the episode within that few minutes of realizing that Cosmos won had possibly, most likely, met a bitter end.
Well, and that's the way they make it seem. And I didn't just cry one time. When I came back to do my notes the second time, because I watched the episode twice, I watch it in real time to get a natural reaction. And then later on, when I get my stills, I watch it at double speed to get it done quicker and make my notes at the same time. So and both times I still maybe not as bad the second time, but it's a pretty well shot scene. And especially the line, "Will you please tell our colleagues that we tried and we love our families very much."
Yeah, no, that got me. I mean, it was like, after that, it was like, like these 5 people obviously, went out to this mission thinking that they were going to be the first to Titan, and then it doesn't pan out for them. I mean, it kind of makes it seem like after them getting to the moon the first time back in '69, that the Russians have had nothing but a hard time replicating that since then, because it's like Mars 94, like their ship, took a dump on them before they were able to get to Mars, so they had to like transfer back to Sojourner, and then Cosmos 1 wasn't able to make it to Titan, so it's like they've had nothing but bad luck since then.
They did have bad luck with the Mars race. And I mean, all they got is the moon landing. They still got the moon landing.
Pretty much.
Oh goodness. But yeah, and then they lose communications as we mentioned, and so we don't know you're guessing that we might get a surprise. If we don't in science fiction, it is wise to say if you did not see the dead bodies, don't automatically assume they're dead. And even if they are dead, they might come back. I mean, there's
I
that
mean,
whole Darth
the
Maul
Siren of the
thing
Titan
going
has a
on.
little bit of a thing to it, but I mean, I would say I don't think if they do come back, it's not going to be all of them. It has to be like one or two. I don't think it's going to be more than that.
And I guess it's important to that's the radiation that's hurting them. So even if they're somehow still alive and stay alive for a while, eventually they'll run out of food. Um, so there's not a lot of time to save them if anybody does, though. It's like,
I mean, because I'm
how
thinking
how
like
long can you last?
from like a story element, I think it adds a little bit more texture if they at least they run into like a crashed Cosmos One on Titan. So you have not only them like figuring that out, but you also have the element of them having to actually launch a scientific mission to understand what things are making proteins on Titan. So you have like that
Mhm.
kind of story to keep us going till the end of the season. So
Oh,
that's what I'm thinking.
that would be cool. Okay, so well, and hopefully they made it to Titan, but but if it's crashed, oh man, that you bring up some interesting points. Now I really can't wait till the next one.
Hmm.
Outpost Nerd says, "Take me to your leader." Hmm, leader. Well, you got a long way to go.
Hmm.
Hello to Lance from the Outcast Creative. I can come on in a bit. I can't wait. I can't wait. Lance is
Yeah.
great and he loves this show. He might join us today.
I mean, this is the perfect episode for Lance to join.
Mhm. Yes, it's the one I've been waiting for. Um, no one but Uncle Ben and Martha and Thomas Wayne stay unalive in stories,
Yeah,
says that listener.
I mean, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get back to the slides, and we've got the domed agricultural. Um, they're growing corn,
Yeah.
and Lily is complaining about Lee, who's refusing to give her extra vodka. So like, okay, you probably don't need it, Lily. And
Mhm.
Alex is distracted, so I do like when Lily quotes Ferris Bueller. That's kind of cute.
Mhm.
Alex
Ferris
is
Bueller's
distracted.
canon.
Ferris Bueller's canon. It happened in this reality. He's distracted by the fate of the Cosmos One because of course his mom is in the same situation, just a little delayed. And so Lily tries to reassure him. And you've got two planets worth of scientists trying to figure out how to land on Titan.
Hmm.
So that's not a bad point. And the other kids or the other young adults appear. They're also everybody's. It makes sense because now that everything is gone to hell, and they've really got to take care of this corn, so they're doing everything they can to survive. But the corn's going to take a while to grow and all of that stuff. So they've got to do a lot of fertilizing and stuff like that too.
Hmm.
So less talk, more work. I guess they're talking about nonsense.
So, well, I mean, it's important to also add that I think corn
Mhm.
is
Yes.
actually like a bio cleanser for soil, so it can like remove heavy metals like lead, and
Mhm.
even reduces the amount of like arsenic toxicity in the ground. Not that that's in the Martian soil necessarily, but a lot of the problem with what we're thinking of when it comes to like, oh, how are we gonna actually colonize and settle Mars? It's kind of geared around the idea that a lot of the soil tends to be very high in perchlorates, which is like a you know it's not
Mhm.
very good for most vegetation, but I'm not exactly. We've never grown anything like that in a Martian environment, but I'm curious to see what would happen if we started. Because I mean, it would probably take a while before the soil became fertile enough to where we could actually use it. But At this point in time, I'm pretty sure that there's enough time passed that the Martian soil in those domes are pretty good to go.
Fairly
I'd imagine.
fertile. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, and we won't know until we really do try to live on Mars, which
Yeah.
may not happen in our lifetime, but it'll happen eventually.
Well, I mean, even in Star
Who
Trek, it
knows?
says they didn't colonize it until 2103. So,
Oh, damn. Yeah, that makes sense. I think I'll see moon bases at least.
mhm.
Outpost Nerd says potatoes kill the soil after a while, but he's referencing obviously the Martian movie.
Yeah.
What? No shit grown corn potato? No shit.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
those
also
potatoes grown from
important
human
to remember that
fertilizer. Yeah.
uh, in the Martian, I mean, they already did their Martian thing. That was when they sent, when Ed launched with Kelly from Mars and they kind of like threw her into space to get caught by the Phoenix so that she can give
Mhm.
birth to Alex in a more comfortable environment. So, yeah, they already did the Martian thing. Although it would be funny if they did
Yeah.
just do like a slight reference to we're growing potatoes in this dome, and then that could be it.
Yeah. So let's see what is right. So some of the um okay, so Gulsora and the other young person Augie is that person's name.
Mhm.
Um yeah, they get fertilizer duty and all of that, and there's gonna be a birthday. She's gonna give him a birthday present because it's his birthday's coming up.
Yeah.
Or and that's that scene. Then we cut to the next one. So here we've got a message to Happy Valley from the ISN. The ISN has been feeding because it's good politically for them to help the Martian independence cause because it's against the M6.
Mhm.
But now they're afraid that it's going to start a war, so they've decided to not help anymore.
Yeah.
So they're being cut off, and they're ordered to pause their aid, and they've got to do it. So the only place with a good food supply, a good steady food supply, is the ISN on the entire planet. This is important to remember. They say, "Oh, ISN and the Chinese government continue to have nothing but good feelings and sympathy towards you, your people, and the noble struggle in which you're engaged. But we can no longer feed you." Basically,
Mhm.
I'm adding that last part there. They just can't. Or they and of course they call them cowards.
It's fun while it
And
lasted. Yeah.
so now they only have 2 months worth of 2 months worth of food that they can provide the other Martians. And so Gerardo says, "You mean okay, so they're talking about how it's pretty bad that Palmer and all the cops are they're running raids and stealing stuff. So they have these secret tunnels that Dev made
Mhm.
that the cops are coming around and stealing medical supplies and food and anything because as I said before, this entire punishment of this base is also punishing whomever is actually the good guys at the same time.
Mhm.
So or the supposed good guys according to the M6.
Yeah.
So they're all that's the drama that's starting up there. The food supplies are and that's a drama that happened last season, but it wasn't that anybody was cutting off their food. They just got stranded and didn't have any.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that things are going to get really ugly basically in the next episode unfortunately, unless something good happens.
Yep.
And so they're cutting rations. Oh, they're saying they need to cut the rations. So they're already rationing. Things are oh yeah, and Penny's saying hi to you.
No. Howdy.
And let's see. Penny's awesome. And then Boyd brings out this big old paper that says, okay, so lots of people are not really happy with this. We're all kind of upset because not everyone wants to make these sacrifices. Most people like to eat. And so how many people? 200 people want to leave and go back to Earth. So that's their that's their demands, and they're sticking to it. So it says, here it is. We, the voiceless and powerless people of Happy Valley, demand that we be allowed to return to Earth on the next available transport ship. And yeah, basically that's it. That's the important part.
Mm-hmm. And this is only like, what, 200 people, they said?
Yeah, 200 people, and they've decided, this group here has decided that they should send them back because, to not appear like they're holding them hostage. Because we're not holding anybody hostage. Oh, yes, we are. Yes, you are. How about the governor and all of these people? Because they really are doing that.
Yeah.
So, and then they all go rabble, 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 rabble. And then the group, they say Miles needs to go to talk to Aleda to get a ship together. So now Aleda is going to be dragged into this to help send people home. Penny. Hey, Gavin says hi to Penny. Mm-hmm. And Miles wonders why it's always him. You're the only one that she does not hate. And so everyone was really supportive for all this happening last time, 6 months ago, or whatever timeline this is. So, but now they're, they don't like not eating naturally.
Yeah. Food is good.
Yeah, and right, and there's the cause of Martian independence, but how many people really want to sacrifice that much to see that end goal is the main event.
Yeah.
And then we get after this we get a newscast. And so wait, I don't know her name. Like the whole time I was like, what's her name? I don't know. Do you know her name?
Not my fan.
She's been talking a lot, but I don't know her name and I didn't pick it up. Okay, well, we'll find it. As long as she keeps showing up, eventually we'll learn her name, right?
And that's how it works.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So there's a whole new news broadcast about everything we just experienced in the past 6 months.
This is part of the timeline discrepancy. So this is day 154 into it. So we have to consider that. We have to consider the fact that it's been apparently 6 months since the Titan mission left Mars. And then we have to consider the fact that maybe, I mean, we're coming to that, but there's a birthday that comes up that's a little bit disjointed.
A little bit too soon. A little bit too soon.
Yeah. So
yeah,
we'll see.
I do love this. I love when For All Mankind has diagrams. This is great. This is the Sons and Daughters of Mars. They've got most of it, but M6 has tunneled out, and I guess Dev was suspecting people were going to betray him, so he dug these tunnels. You were right. He did have some kind of manufacturing doing stuff in place, but it was not what you thought. It would have been great if it was like, here's part of Maru that we built, and that was the hope, you being very hopeful, but instead it was underground tunnels to escape my enemies instead.
Yeah, he's just paranoid enough to have those ready to go.
Yeah. I'm a bit amused by that still, but yeah, okay. President Bragg's doing nothing. He's just saying the same thing and doesn't want to negotiate. And Iridium is not being sent to Earth, and of course that's going to cause some major economic problems and drama and stuff on Earth. And the other news broadcast we've got the leader, SDM leader, we've got Miles, saying, yeah, so we're in control still and we want our independence.
And this
And
was
then,
interesting.
yeah,
Pro Mars demonstrations. And there was also, I think, a few
true.
episodes ago, I mentioned that there was like anti Mars demonstrations as well.
Right. Makes sense. You're going to have people at odds for any kind of political thing that happens.
Mhm.
Then Lenia, Governor of Mars, of course, he is still being held captive. And so the leader of Russia is dragging him through the mud this whole episode. And there he is right now. Oh, I think somebody just joined us.
Nope.
It's Nordapupus, Cuber. How about humans and other critters? Yay.
I'm
So,
definitely part of the other critters.
and so it's time for the prisoners to exercise, including the governor, including Arena. And so they walk around and they, of course, they talk. And of course, usually you don't let prisoners talk like this, but like Arena says, they don't know how to run a jail. And so they're communicating, and she even says that she's able to get a lot of information about Earth and what's going on Earth because she's being given a salt and pepper shaker. I guess you can use a number of objects to amplify sound or signals depending on the material.
She's very resourceful.
Yes. Yeah. This is comfy. This is a comfy prison for her. She's been through.
Yeah.
We saw her go through the gulag.
Yeah, compared to that,
And I was even reading some people online saying that the gulag looks like almost a normal prison. Like they actually made the gulag a little more a little tamer than some other ones, I guess.
Well, I think
Which I
for the
don't
needs
know a
of the
whole lot
show,
about.
probably. I mean,
Mhm.
it depends because I mean, we did a little bit of research for gulags, concentration camps, and the like when I was doing my literary tyrants class, and there's like different ways they would operate them depending on who was in charge at the time. So like when it was Stalin's era, it was definitely a little bit different than how Gorbachev would have had them, and then anybody else that was in between, like Andropov and all those, they would have ran them differently. But you would cycle in different guards and stuff over the years. It wouldn't be like the same people over and over. But like gulags were definitely not. I mean, how that's portrayed here in For All Mankind, I think it's still a little bit too. Because I mean, there's a reference that basically the Soviet Union is starting to like, or at least before this point, transition a little bit away from like the traditional sort of Soviet way of life, and they're embracing elements of capitalism. They're embracing some more commercialization. So maybe
Yeah,
that's different
that's the
with
only
this new
way
guy,
you
but
can that's really
yeah,
the only way you can explain how they've survived for so long because
yeah,
if they didn't change and integrate capitalism, then they would have, died in the 90s like the real
yeah,
one
like they
did.
did, yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think the only way I can pass it off, and the way it's kind of portrayed, is that when this new guy Korzhenko becomes the president of Russia,
Mhm.
that he maintains like a classic esque sort of gulag system. So that's kind
Mhm.
of the way I would rationalize it, because it is kind of quote unquote tamer than what we would expect, but it's still bad by United States uh, prison
Yeah.
system.
So he's
To kind of
extreme, but he's not as extreme as reality was. Okay, that actually
yeah,
makes a lot of sense. Then I appreciate that a lot more now. Thank you. That
yeah. I
I
mean,
buy it. That
as I
helps
understand it,
my
but yeah,
that helps a lot. Yeah. So anyway, the governor is being used as a scapegoat, and so that's a whole political drama that is going to be amplified because his wife also, we have to mention, is going to denounce him publicly. and that she's being forced to do that. And yeah, Arena has that information, and Leonid, he looks devastated. Then we have Palmer coming back from a raid. They've raided a whole bunch of medical supplies, almost apparently cleaning them out of all of their, most of their medical supplies, which is really, oh my God, that is, just think, that could lead to somebody dying. That some of those medical supplies, that could be insulin, that could be stuff that people need to live. And it's just nonchalantly, "Oh, I got all their medical supplies. Now they're not gonna now they're gonna come begging to not be, in the revolution that they're in or whatever, and they're gonna give
Yeah.
up." But
If we get
this
your
is playing
stuff,
with people's lives.
I mean, yeah, we got your stuff, guys. Now, can you stop revolutioning?
Yeah, this is warfare. It's happening now on this base. It's not these aren't games anymore. And so, but Palmer says, even still, even with these successful raids, we're not gonna last longer. Or I guess they're running out of whatever too. I don't know. They don't really explain. But Dev's got a plan. He doesn't tell us here, but it's not a good plan. And it's a bad one. But we'll have to get back to that.
I mean, I'm
It's
assuming whatever his plan is probably doesn't benefit Palmer and the cops all that much, but yeah.
no. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't benefit anybody. It doesn't even benefit Dev. It's absolutely bonkers. But
Well, I mean, I think his broader plan, he's kind of self-rationalizing it as these are like the steps you need to do to achieve whatever end goal he has, which at the end of the day is only for himself.
oh,
But I don't think he anticipated that it would go the way it did.
oh, I've got to say hi to Mad G on Twitch. I didn't expect anybody to be over here on Twitch.
No.
Yeah, that's pretty great. Hold on, let me see. Let me check Odyssey. Nobody's gonna be over there. I don't see this live stream chat. Oh, there it is. Yeah, nobody's there. That's okay. No, we're Odyssey's a ghost town. It's so weird. But I'm just doing it to back up my data. It's pretty good for backing up.
I don't think I've heard of Odyssey.
Yeah, see?
Hmm.
It appeared during the pandemic, and it's
Okay.
it's a different streaming service. It's good. It has a very good syncing tool.
I was about
So
to say, like, if it was a new thing, then that's probably why. But
I don't know. It's not working very well. I guess
well,
some people use it.
hmm.
It's just something to stream to. And then we've got Aleda. So let's go to Aleda. Let's figure that out. Right. Okay. So she's figured out what happened with the Cosmos one. It was a rush timeline. So she's explaining it to Kelly, and the density calculations were off, and the atmospheric density at altitude had diminished, but there's still a lot of uncertainty in our Oh, wait. Okay. So I'm skipping a lot of dialogue here. So she's giving them some new coordinates, some new, not new coordinates, but yeah, maybe new coordinates. We don't really know what's in her whole plan. A new trajectory, new calculations, new density estimates, and they have to be estimates because they don't know for sure exactly what conditions are going to be met as they approach Titan. And so they just have to use their best guess. So there's a lot of statistics going on, and with statistics, you don't always get it quite right. And in this case, they didn't get it quite right for Cosmos. And they were talking about this in the last episode too. If they were hinting, they were foreshadowing this moment, this tragedy, saying if we don't get these calculations correct, we're just gonna bounce off or get sucked in. And so that's why we have this situation here. And Aleda's given them some new numbers, but she's still uncertain. And so she wants the crew to take a look at the new data and do a risk analysis. But that's not what happens. They don't look at the numbers and do a risk analysis. Walt just says, "You know what? Let's pack it up, boys. We're going home."
Mhm.
And so that's that's his plan, because that's his yeah, he didn't want to do this mission to begin with. He wanted to send the robots.
Yeah.
And this was never, he thought that everyone was rushing in and not really taking this seriously, that NASA has go fever.
Mhm.
And this causes them to miss calculations, to miss problems that they wouldn't have if they weren't so excited to go. They're just too excited. That's the excuse, right? Oh, I'm just too
Mhm.
excited to go to Titan, and that's why they got
Yeah,
in
to
trouble.
explore space.
Mhm. Yeah, and I understand the excitement, but you've got to, as a scientist, you've got to do both. You could be excited, but you've got to also do your job. So I don't really buy that is the maybe that's the
I
reason,
mean, Walt is
but
definitely
it's
more of the like cautious type, and so he's not
yeah.
trying to like he's trying to do what's best for everybody, and that's laudable. But you know, it is that sort of I like that this was able to tie back into Ed's basically his entire life story, where he was basically saying that ever since he
Mhm.
missed that opportunity at Apollo 10, it just like it ruined his whole life, and he just like couldn't stop thinking about it until he died, and that informs Kelly's decision to ultimately make that roll that hard six to take that risk, and I thought that was pretty good.
Oh, good callback to the Rolling the Hard Six, and I wanna say hello to Furious Dan 45. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to you too. Thank you so much for dropping in. And, oh, speaking of dropping in, I am gotta say hello to Kevin, Kevin's Theme Park Adventures. Hello, and hello to Franco Walker. Great to see you. I can't stop. Just came to drop a like and say, "Hey, hey."
Mhm.
It's good to say hey to Franco. Thank you for saying hi. I do appreciate you, even if you're just passing through. It is good to see you're still around. Take care, everyone, and much love to you all. Have a good stream. And yeah, I think we're having a pretty good one. I'm finally getting to talk about what I've been dying to talk about for the past 6 episodes. So yes, I agree with you completely that this is marvelous. Kelly finally comes to her. I don't know what to say. She's pretty badass in this episode, and I like her a lot
Mhm.
in this
Yep.
one. It's she would Ed would be so proud.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Oh,
I mean, even if Cosmos won, like I said, I'm speculating that
mhm.
maybe they crashed. She's still going to be the first human in history to successfully pilot that thing onto the surface. So, and
Right.
regardless, she's going to be, she's basically goated for the rest of her life. Greatest of all time, forever. So,
Yeah, except for in Walt's eyes, because she
well, I mean,
sabotaged plans.
yeah, I don't think that plot is going to be dropped. I think he's going to confront her about that. But ultimately, I think depending on how
He
things go,
has to.
Titan, depending on how that all goes on there, I think it's going to be he'll come around to seeing why that might be a useful, maybe not all the time, but maybe there's a point to taking risks on occasion.
Yeah, you think he might learn something from this instead of being monumentally offended that his orders were undermined? He says, "I
Yep.
am the commander. This was my decision. This is not your decision." And he also references Ed, saying Ed didn't have staff meetings when there was a decision to be made. But
Yeah.
I'm not too sure about that. Is that true? I gotta go rewatch some episodes.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
So
they literally on Apollo 15, it was basically a decision between Ed and Molly to like go out on the surface and like get the ice. So,
mhm. Right,
you know,
he did finally go take a risk, and it was great, and Molly did I love those pictures, you always remember that smile,
mhm.
'cause she didn't smile that big very often,
Oh yeah. I mean,
and
that
they
was
were
the whole like when they were
genuine.
doing the Apollo 15 like press photo. She's just like, okay, smile. Okay, maybe don't do that.
They're awkward smiles, and they're
Yeah.
terrible smiles, and so that
Mhm.
made the real smile all that more beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. That was
I
good.
I miss Molly.
Mhm.
Sorry.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, that was when Prom and Kind was my favorite thing ever. So, and this calls back to that. I think this is back to the good stuff in some
Yeah.
ways, and in other ways, it shows some of the flaws of this season. But it's, I mean, we haven't even gotten to the flash mob,
Well, we're getting there.
but
But I mean, the fact that they screened the first
I,
8 kind of shows that. I mean, we're going into episode 8 this week,
mhm,
so I'm really curious to see where they actually left people off. With those 8 episodes, and then now we can talk to those people and tell them, okay, what do you think? What's your expectations for 9 and 10? And then see where that goes. But for the speculation,
mhm,
but
definitely,
um,
definitely.
yeah.
I want to ask Furious Dan, if you're still there in the Rumble chat, what's your favorite Rumble bot to use? I need to find a good bot. Anyway, that's just a question for him if he's still there. And just in case anybody doesn't remember, the callback that Philip's referring to is when Ed went to Apollo 10. He could have landed. It was right there. The landing site was right there. The conditions were absolutely perfect. And he did not do it, and he regretted it for the rest of his life. And he did make up for it. He did make it up for it time and time again. And sometimes make mistakes and whatever. He's a pretty gray character, and he is wonderful, but that's still something that I regret that he carried.
Mhm.
And now Kelly is finding herself in that same situation. Does she chicken out, or does she go for it? And as Philip also explained, she goes for it. But in this particular moment, Walt is saying, "Nope, I'm commander here, and I've made my decision." And so he decides to abort and head back to Mars. Um, I'm wondering how, I guess maybe they had a contingency plan to divert their trajectory to go back home if they needed to, but I'm curious about the exact science of that. It seems like in our current day and age, we have to plan this months in advance if we're going to change the trajectory of a ship, but
I mean,
I
that's
I
probably
guess
why
these
they have the fusion drives and you know stuff where they can turn these things much faster than we can. So must be nice.
okay, right, I forgot about the fusion. The
Well, I
fusion.
mean,
We
the
mhm,
fusion drives later became like plasma drives, and I think that's what they're implying that this that Sojourner uses right now. So
gotcha.
yeah, it's not that it can turn on a dime or anything. It's just that it has a little bit easier time. It can make corrections with a few moments notice, whereas like us right now, it takes we have to have like months of number crunching to actually make it work.
And thanks to Margot, the Cosmos ship should have the same capabilities, which is why you think they might have crashed on Titan.
Yeah.
So we shall see about that. I like that possibility because I was really sad, and
Mm,
it'd be like when I cried the first time I read Lord of the Rings and Gandalf fell
mm,
in the Mines of Moria to the Balrog, and I thought
mm.
he was dead too, just like all the characters, because I hadn't watched the movies yet.
Yeah. So I mean, in that one, it's like he goes from Gandalf the Gray to Gandalf the White, and so I don't know how these cosmonauts are going to do that, but um, I think ultimately,
Yeah.
um, because I mean, the thing that kind of might put a little bit of a damper on that is the idea that if one or two of them survived, we never got the names of any of the people that are on Cosmos One.
Right, and there's a brief clip where we get to see all of their faces, um,
Mhm.
and it's the one of the leader, the Russian leader, saying that 5 heroes died, and that's it. And you're right. I was gonna go look up their names. Do we? Is there a name list for?
I mean, as far as I'm aware, at least on the For All Mankind wiki, that there is no names, at least as I remember last week. But it's possible it could have got updated, but
You're right. No, there's a
we'll have
picture
to find out.
that the same picture that I saw in the episode, which we'll see soon, but they don't have names. Wow, they
So
should
maybe
have
it's possible
names,
they probably all
especially
got
if they're
lost.
dead.
But
Hmm. Well,
yeah,
they're
I got
just
to check
yeah. Literal red
IMDb,
shirts.
maybe.
Oh my god. That's a funny use, a
Oh, yeah.
different use of the word red.
Yeah, actually, I didn't catch that. That's a good catch right there.
Yeah, no, that it's a
The Red
bad
Shirt
joke.
Crew. I
It's
mean,
a
it's
bad
possible
joke,
they
but
did crash and they're just, you know, they all perished. But either
Mhm.
way, I don't necessarily think it's the last we've heard of that particular mission. But
Okay, so
we'll
this
see.
is too much fun. We can just talk about that forever. So let's go on to the
Mm.
next scene where we're stepping through Miles. Not Miles. This isn't Miles. This is Walt. Walt
Yes.
saying, "Yeah, this is my decision. I've decided it's time to abort." And so now we have Miles showing up at Moxie. I was disappointed too. I was like, "Yeah, seriously, all these 7 episodes right in the middle." I was like, "Okay, don't panic yet. It's not even halfway through the episode.
I forget
This
exactly
something's
what
gonna
astronaut
happen."
said it, but it's like never panic early is what this one astronaut said.
Yeah, isn't that Douglas Adams? Don't panic. He's not an
I mean, that's
astronaut.
don't panic, but no, it's like never panic early. I think might be attributed to like Gene Kranz, or it might be Borman or Lovell. I gotta look that up, but it's a thing.
Right. Oh yeah, it's good advice. And so Aleda is disappointed too, but of course, if that's the decision of the commander, she doesn't question it, and she starts working towards what they need to do to bring him home. But Miles has something else to talk to her about. He wants a ship to send home all of the people who have sent in a letter of grievance that they want to go home. They want off this pony show, this popsicle stand, and they want to go back home. And they don't want to fight for Martian independence. A lot of them just have families and they want to go home.
Hmm.
And Aleda refuses to give obviously refuses to give Miles complete control of Moxie, because not only would he be insufficient in knowing how to run it, I mean, as long as they've got all the rest of the crew, it probably would be okay. But she's making it sound overly complicated because she wants to be the one to help with the Titan mission until the crew either returns home or gets on Titan. So she's still committed to that. But since they are coming home, she says, okay, maybe there's an extra transport ship we were holding aside that can be used to send them home. But and she also gives him some tips. Her viewpoint of the whole thing, she calls it a coup. He gets defensive, but she says that's what it is, and people were supporting you. Almost everybody was supporting you. But now everybody's hungry, and there's maintenance issues. The base is running down, so we haven't even talked about that. They don't even show examples of how everything is run down just yet.
Hmm.
And so basically, year of hell kind of stuff that we
Little bit,
don't
yeah.
even know yet, that we don't even see quite yet. And she says, this is where you find out where your real friends are. And the answer to your next question is no. I am not your friend. She has good lines. But I'm not your enemy either. Mhm.
Yep.
Like she's
Yep.
she's she's really kind about it.
Hmm.
I'm just a dumb schmuck who has to wear the headset.
Hmm.
They do give her some good lines.
Yeah.
And so let's go through the sides now. And so yeah, they do go to the side. They don't talk about it right in Moxie, which is good. And that is a good move on Miles's part. And then of course we've got the poor governor watching his wife denounce him, saying everything's his fault. The Mars colony revolted because of him, but at the same time, she's blinking her eyes in a pattern, in Morse code pattern, that he starts to write out. He realizes that she's doing this because in Soviet Russia, everybody knows Morse code and can detect it in any form. And and he realizes she's just saying "I love you," like as to say, "I am being forced to do this, and this is not my choice." And so it's still up in the air whether she's been a spy all along or really does love him and is a devoted wife. It's something that I'm always questioning, but you never know. Maybe she is good intended, and only because her life is on the line she's saying these things.
Well, I mean, it is the Russians, so you have always this air of suspicion around every corner.
Yeah. Right. So Arena they're having their little walk around the tree for their exercise because they can't go out in the yard. And it's like, do you really want to get spacesuits for all of these people and take them out? Take them out to go see. I guess they kind of should though, because just being cooped up and even just seeing a tree is not enough for humans. I would think that they need to suit up at least maybe once a week.
Potentially.
I think just for their well-being. But I don't know if that's a concern or not. There's some psychological questions there. If this is bad.
I mean, I don't think that they're holding them the way they are, but I think there's an anticipation that their demands are going to be met sooner than later. So I don't think they're actually intending for that incarceration to last all that long. So
right, okay. So they don't have to think long term about their psychological well-being.
Yeah.
At
least that's my guess.
Okay, that makes sense. And Arena also mentions the Soviet Union is on the brink of economic collapse. So just a little late. It's actually happening. And like you said, the current leader, there's hints that he's doing some pseudo Stalinism. I'm not sure exactly what that means. Like it's not quite as bad as Stalin, but sort of kind of is bad.
Because I
don't know,
mean,
like
in
Stalin
03,
light.
because I mean, in 2003, he was sort of because he basically seized control of the government from Gorbachev, and so it seemed like over the past 9 years that he's run the country, that he's kind of run it into the ground, and so it's I get the impression that he tried to go because his whole thing was that he wanted to make Russia great again, and so his whole thing was, or the Soviet Union great again, and so his whole thing was that he wanted to reassert some of the things that earlier Soviet Union leaders had done, and so that's why I think there's a little bit more, trying to push away from capitalism, even though it's pretty much integrated into the economy, and now you have the
He's
stuff
breaking
with
apart what worked.
yeah, and so it was there, and it was a system that was working, and then he tried to change it. Now because of the Goldilocks asteroid and all that, now things are even more in flux now that they don't have that cash cow anymore. So yeah, I mean, I think things.
Yeah,
I mean,
because they had the
gonna happen.
elevator. They had it made with that elevator, and now it's doing nothing.
Yeah.
And he was so desperate for the governor to fix that, but now that it's not going to happen, he sees the writing on the wall. He's just throwing the governor under the bus. But Arena also says one more thing important is that people are supporting the governor's sacrifices, even though he's stuck as a prisoner right now. So
yeah,
that is the name of the game for what's going on with the Soviet Union politic drama for this particular episode. And so then we're gonna cut back to Dev here. Then we see this. Let's bring this one up. Let's see. Okay, so they're preparing their plan, which people, watching the episode do not yet know what it is. But he has somebody on the inside. He's got a mole or a spy or somebody who is connecting him with the security system, and in a way that Boyd cannot detect. or nobody else can detect it either. Like they have a super secret way to do this, to break into the facilities to destroy what they desire to destroy. And he's doing this for the future of Mars, apparently. And that's what he says. What he says, but I'm not sure about all this. But anyway, oh yeah, he says they're unwilling to put their lives on the line for. Oh wait, they're willing to put their lives on the line for something utterly foolish. We have to make them see reality. There is no way that they can win. That's his line. And then finally, we're reaching the birthday party, where Alex is getting a call from his girlfriend who's wishing him happy birthday, and she says, "Go to the agrodome or the agricultural dome for your birthday present." And he has an Altoid. He's doing all these push-ups. He's like, "Okay, this is a major date where I'm having the date I've been wanting to have," and he's just really excited. And I guess he's just trying to burn off some energy. I don't know exactly what all the push-ups are for. Like, oh, he's suddenly gonna get buff in 5 minutes, but
Trying to build up that
he
stamina.
already looks good. Like, I don't know why he's worried.
Yeah, I think he's he obviously had a very specific expectation out of this, but it is funny how it goes.
It is funny. It's a great lighthearted moment. And when I say moment, I literally mean a moment. Tonight's access code is somebody's birthday. Think you can figure it out? And so he puts in his birthday, and this is where we get our timeline discrepancy issue, where if we didn't have this birthday party, we wouldn't have to worry about it. But his birthday is in September, and if it's 6 months after the launch, it should be either December or January. December 2012 or January 2013.
If we, say that the launch of Sojourner on July 19th, 2012 was what it was, and then we calculate like 154 days from that, we're in December, like late December, like right before Christmas. And then if we calculate exactly 6 months out, we're looking at like January 19th, 2013. Either way, that's not September.
Either way, it's not September. But that is his birthday, because that's when the I don't know, the Space Center blew up, the one that killed a lot of people. And it was the same day he was born. So we know this date is correct. So yeah, that's the problem with the timeline. And I don't know if, I'm sure the production crew realizes their mistake now, and I don't know if they're going to backpedal it and fix it, or what's
we'll find out in the next episode, because it's also possible that maybe it's not like a formal birthday deal, or maybe it's like an early birthday spiel thing, or like a late birthday thing. But either way, it causes a lot of weird things, because if my math was correct initially, where I was thinking that the trip to Titan was going to take like 3 or 4 months, it still doesn't work, but that would be closer to the birthday than not. So, I don't know. It's weird.
It is weird. We're still in some kind of time paradox. But I have to step away for just a few minutes. I've got something I've got to do instantly.
Okay.
So I will return. I won't be gone for long. And
I shall man
yes,
the
please
con
entertain
for a bit.
just a little. Yes, please. Thank you.
Alrighty. Okay. Well, I don't have access to the other platforms that we're streaming on, but for those of you on YouTube, if you're watching the show so far, I'm wondering what you guys think. There's been a lot of discussion in the other Facebook groups that I'm a part of, and some of the stuff I've seen on Reddit. And there's been a lot of, the kind of unifying opinion that I've seen is that this episode is like one of the best of the series. And so I think that's probably true, because we actually got to see a lot of different things happening and a lot of decisions being made that I was very pleased they didn't have to wait till like the next step. That's the one thing that I can give this show, is that it doesn't do this thing where it like constantly delays certain plot points. It kind of moves things over and like makes things more imminent, and that I definitely do appreciate. I think a lesser show would probably have waited to show this to like waited to like maybe second to last episode or the finale to show this. I'm not exactly sure what the plot ramifications will be as we go through this, but I do have the impression that as we get closer to the finale, that there's another shoe that's going to drop, and that plot point has to be essentially that they get their revolution going, or at least partially. I don't think it's going to fail, but I think that they're pretty close to you know they're in a spot that's very difficult to find themselves in. So I'm thinking that how they rectify that and how they reconcile that with everything else is going to be interesting. But I mean, some people have said that they don't think it's possible for the Martian Revolution to actually happen. But I don't know. I think that's a little bit fortuitous. I think that there's ways it could work. But Gavin's right. It is a Philip takeover, and we try. And I mean, it would have made for an interesting kind of final image for this season, but it seems like they have some plot on Titan that they do want to get to. And so, in my mind, I'm thinking that the potential plots that we have to explore right now, we literally have, the discovery of whatever's making proteins on Titan, and then we still have the potentiality for something with Cosmos One. But that's probably like a you know second or third order issue, since it seems like most of the actors that they used on the little crew sheet are not very known. So it would probably beg to, it would probably lead you to believe that maybe there's pretty much no plot there. But even if there was like a crashed Cosmos One, that still adds to like confirm the idea that they didn't make it. So there is that. But there's also the possibility that they're just, trying to, you know, pull wool over our eyes and make us, you know, do a little misdirection so that we can't, you know, make that conclusion conclusively. But I think where we find ourselves with the season, we only have 3 more episodes after this. So we have episode 8, which I think was the last episode they screened for critics. So that means we only have 2 more after that. And for those of you who are going to be sticking around after this, I think I'm going to cover Star City, but I haven't quite decided. From what I'm told, I think that Star City is going to air basically the same time as the finale of For All Mankind on that Thursday for us on the West Coast of America, and then midnight for everybody on the East Coast. So, and then anybody else in between, you can kind of work it out. But yeah, I'm really curious to see because I mean, considering all the plot points and all the thematic elements that have gone on this season, I think that we're going into season 6 with kind of what gives me the impression of more like a PS season, like a postscript season. Because I'm not exactly sure because I mean, if they solve the Mars revolution thing, okay, that's an end point, and then they do whatever they do with Dev, which either they're going to commit a punitive action against him, or he's going to leave Mars and try to find refuge on Titan, where he's far enough away from all of humanity to where he can do whatever he wants. Or, and then whatever Alex wants to do in between that. And now that Kelly is essentially one of the greatest space explorers ever, where do we go with that? Because, I mean, going into season 6, I mean, I'm only imagining, after Titan, where else can you go? Because, I mean, jokingly, the next place after Saturn is Uranus, and that's going to lend itself to a lot of humor. But there's also no moons out there that are that interesting. I mean, you do have Miranda, but that's not a place you make a home. That's more of like a theme park place, if anything, because you have that really tall cliff. But even then, that's not captivating as a location for a long-term, long-duration settlement. But after that, you have Neptune, and Neptune's even further than that. So I think we're pretty much at the edge of human explored space at this point, and I think that
Mm,
the next
mm,
place to go is interstellar. And going back to one of the first speeches by Gene Kranz in the pilot, they were saying that we would go from the moon to Mars to Saturn and then to the stars in the galaxy. So I think after this, that's pretty much the next space to grow into.
oh, hmm. And it's interesting. Of course, we only have 6 seasons, so we're not going to see all that.
Well, I mean, I have a
Mm,
feeling that because the next season they're supposed to jump to basically an alternate present day, at least for a little bit. But after they do that, there's no reason they need to keep the plot in the present. They could always, like, during the course of the season, just skip a few decades or centuries,
mm,
and if it's a colony thing, then like set up that colony or something else. But I would imagine that, at least from what I've seen so far, that I don't think we're going to be leaving the solar system in this series. But I wouldn't count out a like epilogue at the very very end where we see our Star Trek like future at the very very end, like they do with the epilogues they do every season.
mhm.
That's my speculation.
Oh, well, I guess we'll find out. I mean, if they end season 6 as the cliffhanger, that's going to be ridiculous.
Yeah, I
But,
mean, I don't even know. I mean,
an
in my heart of
epilogue would be
hearts,
good, though.
yeah. I mean, I'm thinking that they end season 6, however they end it, and then
Mhm.
they're going to do what they do every season, where at the very very end you have a little postscript, and then
I guess as long as it's season 6, it wraps everything up in a nice bow, the entire series, so that I don't really have too many questions plot-wise within the scope of the years from the moon landing to now. Then I'll
yeah.
be happy and they can
Mhm.
tease whatever they want, a future show that'll maybe never happen.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with them just teasing a thing that like we never get to, but like that's going to be in the future. Like all this led to that, and it would be funny if kind of like what did they do in season 2? The flash forward was like it like zoomed out of Earth and then it went to Mars and it said 1995, and all we saw was somebody setting like a foot on Mars. It would be kind of funny if they did something where it's like, okay, we leave 2027 or whatever it is, and then we leave the solar system, and then we go to another place, and then we find out that the next place they go to is like, you know, Vulcan or something, and then you have somebody like in a Starfleet uniform, set foot wherever that is, and then you end it.
Vulcan.
That's it.
Wow.
2266. Somebody sets
That
foot
would that'd
on
be
that.
way too on the nose. Ronald D. Moore wouldn't do that, but I get it. That'd be funny.
I mean, it doesn't have to be exactly
Eh,
that, but I can see a
right.
possibility where they
I
do
understand. I hear you.
their own
I
take
hear
on
you.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. And Scotty Earth 37's in the chat, from the Earth to the moon. Well, and we'll talk more about that when we get to the end, because we got a flash mob to
Hmm.
to party to go
Yeah, we're
to.
still getting there.
Small Time Republic is here. We've got to say hi. The Titan part of this episode did feel like a season finale. Yeah, yeah, right on. True. And the teaser did too. That's really big. I don't know how they're gonna go bigger later. So that's gonna be exciting to see. Well, and big in terms of it made me cry. And yeah, Scotty's happy to see Penny, as am I. And
Hmm.
so then we get, yeah, you said he had certain expectations for this birthday party. Definitely they were subverted. It's
Yeah.
actually Lily is a major tease. She
Yeah.
she sets up this cute little picnic with the wine, and it looks like, okay, Alex is like, "Oh yeah, this is going to be fun times in the cornfields." But
Mhm. There's tons of people in the Midwest that probably had something similar, but uh, minus a flash mob, but still.
minus the flash mob. Well, and I've heard though, I I have it on authority. I guess I won't say who it is, even though he said it live on
Hmm.
my panel, that it doesn't feel good to run through a cornfield without clothes.
Well,
And
luckily, they keep their clothes on for at
and
least most of them.
Mhm. Yeah, that would make sense. But anyway, we could instead of a private picnic, romance time, that does not happen. But it is still really sweet that she's got everybody together to have a party, a birthday party.
Hmm.
Started with a flash mob, basically,
Yeah,
and so everybody's dancing
because if I remember
and
correctly, I think somebody told me that it's a Nicki Minaj song called "Starships" that they're dancing to, which I think is probably fitting.
right.
But um, yeah, I mean, they mentioned earlier in the season that like flash mobs are a thing at this point. So
Well, they
um,
set up this episode to make me think that the police were gonna jump out of the cornfield, but that
I mean, in
didn't
a
happen.
way, I mean,
Not quite. Mm,
yeah, I mean, they were
so,
there, just not the way we would expect.
there yeah, exactly. And so there's this big coordinated dance, and then but before we get to that, what happens that's bad? You could feel something bad's gonna happen because everything's too happy. Everyone is too happy for this show. It was a very lighthearted moment and something that was needed. And then, oh yeah, you didn't think we're on fertilizer duty that whole time, so it explains why they were being so bratty earlier. And so, and then Dulcora um is having a good time, so we've got a problem with the that's going to come up here. But before we get that, we got Lee who
Mhm.
crashes the party and everybody thinks he's going to
Well,
break it up,
seemingly crashes the party, but
and then he starts dancing.
mhm. In fact, he's with it.
Yeah, he's been part of it this whole time. And before we get to that crack you just saw, yeah, he this dance he's doing is not to this song. It is a this is a Gangnam style dance, which is the
Yeah.
joke based on the fact that he's Korean.
Hmm. Yeah.
And
It's a cute
oh,
scene, and it's
uh,
punctuated by something terrible.
it's such a cute scene.
Yeah.
And it was just like it's just such a relief. It was nice. And then you knew, oh, that something was gonna happen. You were hoping something wasn't gonna happen. And of course
Yeah.
it goes all to hell.
I mean, somebody was trying to say, or a few people on Facebook and Reddit were trying to say like, "Oh, it's cringe," and I'm like, no. I mean, it's for what they're doing and what it's supposed to mean to them. I think it's cute.
Mhm. It's cute. And yeah, they're kids. I can they're college age kids. And the only question I would have is how did this become popular? Because this was an internet viral trend, and the internet has not been public for very long in the for all mankind universe. Did they accelerate social media, or was this just popularized on TV? What
I mean,
happened?
it's possible that because I'm imagining like in even 2012 they're using like a really old version of YouTube, and that's how it's passing through. But um, like
Mhm,
really like slow, like bit rates not really good, and then not only that, it's like low resolution video from like
mhm.
when it first started.
Right.
So
My trip to the zoo.
exactly, YouTube is not
Okay,
mentioned in this. So maybe
true.
there's a different one, like a similar sort of video sharing platform, but we have not been. It's not been revealed what that platform is at this point.
And Small Time Republic says it does make sense within the scope of the timeline because Gangnam Style
Mhm.
did come out in 2012, so we're safe.
Yeah.
We're safe for him to use that dance. I'm sure.
Hmm.
I'm sure production paid attention to that at least. And then yes, the dome cracks and everything. Like it doesn't just. It's not just a small break. It or a tempered break. Somehow Dev knows how to completely demolish this dome utterly and for good,
Yeah.
destroying all of the crops and killing one.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
unfortunately, based on the tennis shoes, everybody's saying that it's Gulsara, the
Yeah. The film
snarky
girl.
Soviet Union girl. Yeah,
Yeah, the film girl. That's a shame. I wasn't
she
expecting
was
that to be her fate, but
she was supposed to go to school. Yeah, she
yeah,
she never made it to school.
yeah,
And
and yeah,
yeah, I wasn't expecting that either.
her death's on Dev's hands at this point, and it's
Eh,
like even though he wasn't expecting it, it's like you're gonna go ahead and like do this action and then not expect unintended consequences. I mean, it's definitely like foolhardy.
Right. Well, and even just like I was saying earlier, even just taking away their medicine can
Yeah,
cause
that
indirect
too.
deaths.
Hmm.
That is already potential. Taking away food, stealing
Yeah,
stuff. They're basically being pirates and stealing everything.
I mean it's true.
Yeah. But um this is apparently a recurring theme with Ronald D. Moore and birthday parties. So if Ronald D. Moore wrote an episode and there's a birthday party, you might not have a good time.
I mean,
Apparently,
arguably any kind of party, but because I
oh,
think
that's
that
right.
there's
They did that.
yeah, because in Battlestar Galactica, I think they're just like trying to celebrate somebody's like some number, like maybe like 200th landing on the Galactica, and then there's like a loose missile that comes out and kills all the pilots. So they were just trying to like celebrate. Anytime you have a celebration, any of these things, it's going to go bad.
That's exactly the example that I had here in my notes. So
Yeah,
we were right on the same page there. It just,
yeah,
but you're right. Yeah, in a previous season, they were having a wedding that didn't that, and then the gravity, whatever
and
went off
that was
offline.
the time where Danny did one noble good thing. So there's that.
Mm. Yeah, that's right. He was trying to redeem himself in that. That was a good time for him for once.
Yeah,
But things still didn't end well for him, obviously.
no, we're still going to pay for that. I'm
But
sure with
anyway,
Avery, but yes.
I just walk me through what is Dev's what is he thinking? He's not just getting rid of food for the revolutionaries, he's also getting rid of food for him and his crew and
I mean, I
all
was
the
getting the
things.
impression that Helios has its own maybe like cycler system where they're getting their own stuff periodically. But even then,
Well,
like,
then why are they stealing supplies if they have
I
their
mean,
own stuff?
I think ultimately they're trying to like not only make it difficult for the other side to keep operating because if you don't have medical supplies, they don't have food, then they have to give in
Mhm.
and end their little quote unquote revolutionary charade. I mean, he's basically thinking of this like a battlefield general, where if like you starve out or make it very uncomfortable for your enemy, then they have to come out and surrender. But in the end, I mean, that doesn't make you a better person because I mean he's not one of those people. He's just a you know guy who leads a company. But ultimately, I think at the end of the day, when you have a conflict like this and you try to like starve out your enemy, all you're going to do is probably make them angrier and more, as we saw, more dedicated to their cause.
Mhm. Yeah, I did understand the idea that he's trying to get them to quit by taking away their stuff, but I don't they're not saying that they have their own stores or their own stocks. They're leaving us in the dark as to where their supply situation is in terms of, you know,
I mean, they're a little vague on it, other than outside of the giving us a like a
extremely
general
vague.
ballpark timeline. But because I mean, initially it was like what 3 or 4 months
It's
of
2
supplies they
months.
had.
Well, 2 months for the revolutionaries. I'm talking about M6, the M6 whole underground, whatever Davis
Yeah.
got set up. What is
Mm.
their supply line? Are they getting supplies from what? Where? From
Well, I
they
mean,
have
that's
a secret
I mean,
stash.
it's definitely an assumption that they're getting stuff from like Helios transports, and
Okay.
they're not getting anything from they're not getting anything from
So
ISN that much. But
so then I thought that the president cut off transports to Mars. Didn't you say that last time?
I
Didn't
mean,
he
I think that was
say
like I think he was trying to say like any kind of U.S. funded thing or any M6 thing. But even they say, I think in the last episode that the M6 can't tell Helios what to do.
mm, yeah, they can't. That's why, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if any supplies from I based on what the president said last time, there are no supplies going from Earth to Mars period. They're not making a distinction between M6
I mean
and
that would also imply that even ISN supplies aren't coming, but they apparently did for like 6 months
yeah,
before this point. So
right. But no,
I'm
but
thinking
that's
he's
not
being a little
M6
bit.
though. ISN is obviously sending stuff.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's being a little
They were
bit
not.
more, I guess, obtuse in his declaration there, because there's no way he can like tell all the nations of the earth that they can't. But
Well, I guess
it's
I
an
meant
idle threat.
M6, not ISN. But they should say what they mean, and because it
I
doesn't
mean,
make
it's a
any.
very bold threat, and I think that it makes sense for somebody like him to make that threat, because if you say that everybody on Earth, or we're not going to send anything,
Mhm.
that's a stronger threat than saying, oh, it's just going to be a little bit of us. He's saying
Yeah,
everybody. I think that's more
yeah.
of a
But
stronger sense.
I need realistic unrealistic understanding of the situation. Anyway,
Mhm.
this is
Are you saying that
my only complaint.
a politician overselling a point is unrealistic?
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
I would like for it to be clarified. It would just take one line to say this is how we're getting food and water and stuff. Um. So anyway, see, I don't know. Dev is very different than what I remember him as. He's changing. He's not, and not for the better.
No. I mean, I think his true colors are coming out more this season than they had in previous seasons. Because I think this has always been him. It's just that he's never been pushed to a corner like this before, especially now that his whole plot to basically populate the whole of Mars with like a combination of robots and rich people is come out. So
Mhm.
yeah,
And Lance, you are more than welcome to join us anytime you want for however long you want. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, an
yeah,
hour. I
please
mean,
do.
however long you want. Small Time Republic says for self preservation purposes, it's dumb for Dev to destroy any food sources. This is what I'm saying. Absolutely agreed. And Small Time Republic says, I got the impression that the deliveries were embargoed by the president. Yeah, that's also what I
I mean,
thought
for
too.
like,
And that's what they said. That's what the episode says. And I don't know, I have no any reason. Like I like all of the corrections that Phil's bringing up. I would love for them to be true, but these are
I mean, we only
essentially
have
it's
3 episodes
essentially
left to really find out, but you
it's a
know,
really essentially headcanon at this point, but it's good. It's logical, very logical headcanon, but still, nonetheless, we don't know this information from the episode itself. And so we've got I guess it does make sense that they have backup somewhere at least, but for how long or how much is what I'm curious about in terms of the M6 supplies. And so yeah. And another thing about this scene is kind of wild is that I was trying to think if I created a agricultural dome on another planet, would it just be made of glass? Because it kind of looks like it's made of glass, but that doesn't make sense for another planet, right? Wouldn't it? It would. You would probably want to use different materials. Um, we have
I mean,
transparent
I don't
aluminum.
doubt that,
Does
shattered.
Straw Mankind have transparent aluminum? Is what I want to know.
I mean, if it's supposed to be like a semi prequel to Star Trek, then maybe. But I'd say that the shattering aspect doesn't necessarily preclude the idea that it's glass, but because any material could in fact shatter depending on its consistency,
Mhm.
but we don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't think they're using like tempered glass or something for that, because that would be a little bit weird. But um, some kind of a Mars material. We're not really privy to that sort of like materials science aspect of any of this, but
Mm.
um,
But it's science fiction, so I got to bring it up. It'd be interesting to actually figure out not only what material is the agricultural dome made out of, what what did Deb actually do to destroy the what was the effect what caused the effect that we saw? I would love to learn that. But I
yeah.
also would have liked to see how they updated the Sojourner to make it the Sojourner Titan.
Yeah, we're only told
There's
a
a
little
lot of
bit of
things.
aspects of it, but I
It's
mean, at the end of the day,
the show's a tease.
the show is a sci-fi drama, so they're only going to go so far in certain areas. And I understand it.
Yeah, it is an opera. That's fair enough. And of course, everybody's very upset. Although I would say that Miles is under upset. He
Under
seems
upset.
a little bit too, I don't know, that's not the right word. What do you call it? He's too not upset. He's not upset enough for me. I don't know.
You think
I don't
he's
know.
sort
He's
of
too calm.
whelmed by the situation, not underwhelmed or overwhelmed, but just like somewhere in the middle?
I don't know if it's just maybe he's just seething, but I can't see that either. He just seems really focused. It's good that he's focused on the the job that he has
Mhm.
as a leader to carry things forward, but his daughter almost died, and I don't see the emotion that I would expect.
I mean, I think maybe I mean they've made Mars a home at this point, and yeah, now there's more people that want to leave, but at a certain point, it's like you put. I mean, he's kind of going on his own sunken cost fallacy there, where it's like we put this much in, then why are we going to like not do it? Push any further. So I think there's
Mhm.
that. I mean, maybe there's something to what you're saying, but I'm thinking, I don't think he's the kind of person that would like crack under pressure or succumb to any of those things too quickly. I mean, he's dealing with a lot of shit right now, with everything going on. But I think that's pretty much the only way you can keep it straight at this point.
I guess that I don't expect him to do anything crazy, but when his daughter was in trouble in the riots, he jumped right on the offending police
Oh yeah,
officer
I
and
mean, because
protected her.
obviously, I mean, this is a little bit kind of like that. I mean, he doesn't have like a direct like human person he can like directly affect for what they do
Mhm.
to his daughter. But I mean, at this point, we don't. He doesn't really know, what happened there. I mean, we know because we're the audience, but um, we're kind of they're leading to the impression that it was the cops that did something to do with it, but it wasn't. They don't know that it's directly from Dev at this
Oh,
point.
he doesn't know where
So
to direct
yeah, he doesn't know where to direct it. So you can
okay,
kind of
that
see
makes
in that
sense.
scene he directs his anger toward doubling down on making Mars
Right.
a home.
And actually, very intelligently, he says we increase security. So now he knows that
Yeah.
there's a problem with security, which is important. And so
Hmm.
in the coming episodes, we have a new mystery now. Who is the person who's telling Dev how to take down security in the Mars base in Happy Valley? And the
Yeah.
big thing from this scene is that with all these crops destroyed, with also emergency rations destroyed, they only have 2 weeks of food now. So
Yeah.
now even more people want to leave, including Aleda. She does not want to die on Mars. She has children, and so and then also her whole impetus for being on Mars is the Titan mission. Without the Titan mission, and they're coming back home, they're not going to do the mission. So
Hmm.
she's just like, I'm gonna get that ship together, and we're gonna go home.
Yeah.
And so that's where everything
This is
was very
definitely
dour.
yeah, this is definitely a down note
Mhm.
at this point.
Yeah, and
And
obviously we know
yeah,
the truth. We know that we do get to Titan, but this is the dramatic edge of the episode, which is pretty
yeah,
well
this
done
is this is them at their
dramatically in a way.
lowest, and it's very palpable in that where Aleda's going to leave. Miles is pretty much backed into a corner where it's like he either has to make a decision to you know double, triple down on this, or to throw in the towel. Obviously, he just says he doubles down on it, and
Mhm, yeah, he
Aleda at this
says,
point is
"Yeah,
thinking
we've
about
gone
leaving,
too
but
far.
yeah,
Mhm, we
so
can't give up yet." And Boyd says something very interesting. She says, quite well, the lady I don't know says, "Who has the admin password to the security system?" And Boyd says, "Quite a few people." But we know who was behind this. And I don't think she means Dev. I think, or does she just mean Dev, or is this a mystery? Like, no, she doesn't mean Dev, because this is the person who gave Dev the security codes or whatever.
hmm,
And so she knows who's behind it. Everybody else knows who's behind it. But why don't they tell us? So I guess
I
they're
think it's
holding it for
implied. I think it
drama
might
reasons.
be because I think they're because they're talking about somebody on their base. They're not talking about like Palmer or somebody.
Right. Right.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
so do you have so Small Time Republic has a prediction that it's Arena who is helping. The older Russian lady is going to be running Mars by the end of the season.
I mean, I've
She's
had that
definitely
suspicion a
moving
little
some
bit
pawn pieces around.
because I kind of don't think she has the loyalty to Russia that she had when they threw her in the gulag. But I also don't know if she's the kind of person who would. I mean, I think she's definitely one of those like power behind the throne sort of people. I wouldn't doubt that that's probably where she directs her stuff from, whoever the next leader of Mars is.
Well,
Uh,
she's actually trying power behind the throne. She's trying to support the governor to be
yeah,
the leader of the
I
Soviet
mean,
Union.
so I
So
mean, there's that. There. I
there's
mean, it'd
that.
be interesting if she's able to like be sort of a kingmaker where she puts the governor, sends him back to Earth, has him in charge of Russia or its breakaway states or whatever, and then maybe at some point becomes more of like an aid of sorts to Miles as they set up this new Martian government. Uh,
Mhm.
I mean, it's
Well, something
possible.
positive has to happen.
It
But
would be interesting.
wow. So yeah. So they consider violence, and Lee says no, no more bloodshed. And so
Mm.
they shut that down pretty quick, thankfully. I would not like to see that, although we do know the Space Marines are on their way. I
We
do hope
know.
that we get to see Stevens at least go to um at least go to the moon for a little bit because I want to see what's going on over there. I just
I
want to
mean, I
see.
have a suspicion that we are going to see something on the
Mhm.
moon because I mean, it's been 6 months, and they said they were basically imminently shipping out from San Diego to go to the moon. So my assumption is that they're on the moon at this point, and that they're waiting on a mission because there really is no reason for the Marines to go at this point. I mean, it hasn't escalated to a point where they would be needed, but I think that's coming.
Mhm. Yeah, it has to. Everything's going to converge. That's where it seems to be headed.
Yeah, because I kind of feel like the only reason they would be needed is if there's more. I mean, Lee and everybody doesn't want to have like you know a battle, but I think
Mhm.
it would have to rise to that level. And when it does, it's going to be between M6 people and then the sons and daughters of Mars people. So
Yeah.
they're going to the Marines would be needed at that point to kind of like separate them out and be like, okay, stop. You guys have to calm down.
Just calm down. Yeah, but how well does it go when you tell somebody to calm down?
Yeah. So I mean,
Miles
they end up
is
becoming a target in that.
continuing.
So yeah.
Miles is definitely not giving up, and that's so let's look at the slides for that scene that we just described. And so there they are, very upset. Yeah, so 5 storage units were collapsed underneath the domes, and we've got somebody, and our Small Time Republic thinks it's Arena who's passing along the admin password. But we do not have a list of everybody who has that code, the access codes. And oh no, it's not Lee who said that. I might got my notes incorrect. It was the doctor who said it. Unless it was off screen.
Okay.
Oh, hold on.
I mean, it would
What
make
is that?
sense.
Oh right, and Aleda's going home. Yep, we got that. And looks devastated that his plan went so disastrously. I mean, they destroyed all the domes that they wanted to destroy, but what he did not intend was the life. He did not he did not intend for a college kid to die. And is concerned about Alex. He's continuously concerned about Alex. And at first I thought it was a familiar concern, but now that I'm starting to see him as more of not, genuine. I'm starting to wonder if he just needs Alex for something. Now I'm just like
Hmm.
totally not with Dev anymore, and he used to be so good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of wondering if. I mean, I still think that he does actually see Alex as something more familiar, but I think he's the only one who would be likely to make any kind of sense to Dev at this point. Because I mean, he's just done so much for like he's been really concerned for him, like genuinely. He's also done a lot for him, you know, over these last few episodes just to make him feel, like his views are respected at least for a point.
Well, and
But I mean,
if anyone else had leaked that information besides Alex, they would be sitting in the brig this entire time.
exactly. So I mean, there has to be some kind of. I think he sees him as sort of a surrogate son. I don't think that that's a debatable point, but I do think that where he goes with that, because I feel like we're leading up to some kind of a confrontation between. Because I mean, they've kept Alex and Dev pretty much separated since a little bit before that whole medbay thing. So they're building up towards some kind of a like a last confrontation between the two of them, which I imagine will be like some kind of a clash of ideologies because obviously Dev has his interest in doing what he wants to do, but so does Alex. With both of them want to make Mars a home, but it seems like Dev is more in it for himself and his people like him, and then Alex, since he's of Mars, he's in it for everyone to make Mars a home.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
I think
yeah,
that's where the tension comes
well,
in.
you do think that he wants everybody, even the people he was dismissing and sending back to Earth. You don't think he was actually going to follow through with the official plans?
I think he's going to have to change his mind. Dev's going to have to change his mind later,
Yeah,
or
he has
you
to.
know,
Absolutely.
it has to come out that he was behind the attacks on the agrodomes. So that's
Mhm.
probably going to sour Alex even more against Dev. So it's going to be
Yeah.
interesting to see how that
Yeah.
all that comes out.
Yeah, none of what you're saying seems to be what's happening yet, but hopefully, I hope you're right.
I mean, it is a
So
lot of speculation, but then again,
it is good.
that's
It
all
is
I have.
good. Well, that's the fun. That's the fun of the show. Is I do
Yeah.
appreciate all of the speculation that you have to provide. Kelly is recording a video message for Alex and is expressing remorse for, well, not remorse because she didn't do it, but uh, empathy for
Mhm.
Gulsara, and that she'll be home soon. And she's this insinuates she's come to terms with Walt's command, but then she goes to get some kind of medicine from her bag, and she comes upon the plaque that should have been that should have commemorated Americans setting foot on the moon. And this plaque is carried forth through several seasons of the show, and here it is now, and it's given her renewed um uh what do you call it, invigoration to
Yeah, I'd say so.
to uh to to go to Titan. So she's decided that's it, that's the catalyst. This is because both you and I, Philip, have been
Hmm.
waiting for her to Baldwin, and she's gonna now. Here she goes. And
Yeah.
so we get to the flight deck now. And and so they do all their system checks, and it's all very lovely and wonderful, and they're going to go to back to Mars, and but it's also sad because the crew is giving up. But then we see just in the corner that she's downloading something. Something's uploading, rather, not downloading, uploading,
Yeah.
and it is we know it to be Aleda's new calculations to get to Titan. And that's why the burn doesn't happen when Walt expects it, and he's panicking, and they miss their window to go home. And so now, yeah, she has changed the flight path. The burn window's gone, and it yeah. So then the engines ignite and send Sojourner Titan to Titan, and and Yeah, so he's really upset about this. "Can't we do this? Can't we fire manually and run a longer burn?" "No, you can't." And this is where I was watching the episode. This is my thumbnail, man.
Hmm.
That's so good looking. Look at
Yeah.
that. This, kinda feels like a Star Trek Voyager kinda look
Hmm.
outlook.
Yeah.
Really beautiful. But nope, he doesn't get to go home. They have to go to Titan, thanks to Kelly not wanting to miss the opportunity to explore and find life on Titan, which is wonderful. And he's like, "No, that can't be. I loaded it myself. I did it myself. What's going
Hmm.
on? It's not working." And so then Kelly takes control, and yeah, she kind of just rules. She's taken over. She's sabotaged. This is sabotage. It's not good, but it's also awesome.
Yes.
And so she starts the aero brake maneuver, and similar to what they do at what the Cosmos does, she does the dive and everything, but this time it works. But let's see how it plays out narratively.
Yeah.
And the rest of the crew are like, "Yep, Kelly's right. We gotta go to Titan. Fire up ground navigation and be ready to give me updates." And there we are. And so we don't get to actually land on Titan this particular scene, but it's coming up. Small Time Republic says Walt did nothing wrong. Yeah, no, you're
Hmm.
right. He did nothing wrong. He's just too cautious to be the kind of explorer to make new waves, to actually find things. He would have just sent robots to do what humans need to do. But yeah, you're right. He did nothing wrong, and he was in command. And Kelly disobeyed orders, and we're going to find out what those consequences are in the next episode, I believe. And so here we're with Miles, and he's drinking, and he's drinking with his wife, just really upset about everything. And so he's, everything it seems to be failing for him. And Amanda reminds him that it's okay to be afraid, as he told her when there were problems with their first daughter, Sarah, whoa, I don't remember Sarah. Was she mentioned before?
Yeah.
What happened to Sarah?
Because I believe that she left for Earth, if I'm not mistaken, for the same reason that she was going to leave for Earth.
Mm-hmm. Oh, she's on Earth now. Okay, so she's okay. Let's see. Because I do not remember Sarah actually. She's the older daughter of Miles and Amanda, and so he was in university. Let's see. She graduated. No, Lily graduated. So, oh, okay, yeah. She's at Tulane University right now. Okay, so she's already at school. So she's not too much older than Lily.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Okay, I kind of just completely forgot about Sarah.
Hmm.
Like last season, I don't remember everything. But here's Miles' line from the scene. "I always wanted to know what it felt like to fail completely and utterly in front of the entire world." But at that same moment, they find out that Sojourner is actually going to land on Titan, and so they head to Moxie. There, it's yeah. So so the Sojourner descends into the atmosphere, and so we're going to see that now. And so Kelly sends it down. Oh yeah, okay. So that's how they find out. She tells him. So here it is. It's descending, and so this, of course, you remember we just saw the integrity do this too. It's going in, and they're staying too long in the heat zone. That's what the integrity avoided. They stayed in the heat zone for as little time as possible, although it was hotter than it should be, but they stayed in it for less time, and apparently that was the successful way to get through because their heat shield was better than it was in the unmanned mission where everything got all crumbly, which would not have been good for the crew. But in this case, they're staying too long in there, but it still ends up working out.
Mhm.
And so they black out from communications just like in the moon mission recently. So that's it's a good callback for that. It was fun to relive that experience just thinking about it. I'm already nostalgic for something that happened a few weeks ago.
Well, we're going to get a couple more, hopefully, in the next few years.
Mhm. And so there it goes to Titan. If they don't slow down enough, they'll skip off Titan just like Cosmos 1. It's in their hands at this point, so it is all Kelly, manual control. And so she's got a rocket. And so, and Miles has the idea. Everybody should hear this. This should be blasted on the radio for everybody to hear. The intercoms, whatever communications they have, everybody needs to hear it. And yeah, and so that's the scene. It's just an emotional scene of everything going on. I'm seeing more ionization. Expect LOS soon. So they're citing all of the calculations that are happening. Hydraulic pressure and 94 Kelvin OAT. And here's everybody on pins and needles trying to, see, just waiting to see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not getting any signal. And Dev is listening. Everybody's listening. And finally, Aleda notices there's a signal they can pick up on. And they find that Kelly did it. They safely landed on Titan's atmosphere. So her sabotage was successful for the betterment of mankind and to the, it's gonna upset. It's just poor Walt is gonna be upset later, but we'll see exactly what happens. But everybody else is cheering, and even the governor is very, very happy at this news. Something good happened, and so it's lifting everybody's spirits.
Yep.
And everybody's taking shots, celebratory. I like that, Aleda. And this is a beautiful shot too.
Oh yeah.
And the clouds entering the atmosphere. The success. And landing. Good shots. And they put on their spacesuits, which are decidedly different than the spacesuits that you wear on Mars, but it makes sense they're gonna have different spacesuits, different planet, different spacesuits. And I guess it does make sense. They're much smaller. I guess their Titan conditions are different to require different. You don't need as much pressure. The suits don't have to be as intense as a Martian suit or one that you'd wear on the moon.
Yeah.
And what's really beautiful here, let's remember Danny fighting with the Russian. I forget his name. It was
Kuznetsov.
Yeah, to get on Mars, and they're just like neither of them were actually. It turns out it was Lee who was the first person on Mars, but but here they all take a step all together. They are all the first people on Titan, and so you can see how the space race has evolved, so that everybody's working together at this point. And of course, they're not as much in competition because they're all from the same crew, but they're
Yeah.
still different. I still feel like there's a difference here in tone. And yeah, Kelly had the balls to go to Titan. Because anything else would have made me really sad. This is good. And so then so this is it. We made it to Titan before the end of the season, which is great. Like, it's so great that this did not happen as a season finale. I am so happy that we're going to get more Titan this season. It's one of the things I was worried about, and my worries have dissipated entirely.
Well, I didn't think about it until right now, but if we think about this in like 3-part or 3 acts with a 3-act structure, like the first act was the first 3 episodes, and it ended with Ed's passing, and then from episode 4 to now, it's been pretty much just hyper focused on the mission to Titan and the Mars Revolution stuff. But now we end this act with the actual landing on Titan. So now the final chunk is going to be about what they find on Titan and how they sew up this Martian Revolution plot thread.
Yes. Yes. So the penultimate episode will be no, we still got 3 more episodes. We still have 3 more episodes. That's great. It's just okay. So these last 3 episodes are going to be great, and I can feel it. Like, we're finally getting to the sci-fi bits, more of them, even though there are some missing pieces I want to be explained. But I am overall very happy with what's happened, and they look out onto the atmosphere, and it is beautiful. C.S. Lee plays Lee Jung Gil. He's
Well,
cool.
the interesting thing with because there was a lot of controversy on Twitter about at least what I saw about what the look of Titan is. Like, it's very not what you'd expect. Because I think the reason they did this different color coding, now that I thought about it a little bit, is mostly because if you kept it the same, like the realistic color of Titan is like a amber orange rust sort of color, and to the untrained eye, it could look very similar to what Mars would look like, and so there needs to be some kind of a color difference so that when we're on Titan, we'll notice a little bit of a
We'll
difference.
know what planet we're on. Or do they really think we're that dumb? Oh my god.
No, I think that the color difference between the two is just that subtle that you might not be able to tell if you're like not trained on it. And
and
I've
I'm
been looking
not.
at it.
I
So.
didn't know what I didn't think to look up what Titan actually looks like. And
Yeah,
that is
the photos
that's
from
disappointing to me to learn that that does not look like reality.
from what I'm told, it would be what you saw is exactly what it would look like on the night side of it, because it's tidally locked to Saturn.
So it
But
is okay.
yeah, it's good enough for what we need. So I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what exactly they'll expand on from there, but it wouldn't surprise me if there's like flashes of color that we see that are normal Titan colors. But
Well, okay, but definitively we've not sent a rover to Titan yet.
we've never sent a rover, but we've landed. We have pictures of stuff on Titan, and that was sent from stuff from the Huygens probe we launched there in 2004. So we've known what it's looked like for a while, and those pictures are very interesting to see. But there's no indication from the photos that there's any like liquid water there. But we know from some of the other surveyor probes we've information we've sent that there is some sort of like ocean sort of lakes and stuff like that that are pretty similar to stuff we would see on Earth. So it's
You're
not
right, it's
water, it's
red.
hydrocarbons. Well, it's like an orangey amber color. But if you put a picture of what we saw on Titan up next to a picture of Mars, it's a very subtle difference.
Yeah. And I would be okay with that. Come on, let's see. I can put my screen back up so everybody can see what Titan's supposed to look like. And you're saying, oh, it's just nighttime, so hopefully in the daytime it turns orange. We'll see. We'll see if there's a difference, and it's just time of day kind of thing. Here's bringing that up. And this is what. Thanks for telling me about that. I didn't know about the Huygens probe. I didn't even realize we did explore Titan a little bit.
Yeah, and that was a
Pretty
big
nice.
thing when I was 12. The thing you should look up true color images.
True color images. Okay.
Now we have For All Mankind stuff on it now.
Well, no, it says NASA.
No, there's an image on the top right that's from the show.
Oh, this.
Yeah.
And that. Wait, no. Ooh, Cassini also. Beautiful.
Yeah, that was
okay.
the Cassini-Huygens was the actual mission name. But yeah, so there's an image at the bottom right. That's the one. There it is. That looks like more of a clearer image, a little bit.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. Okay, I'm so glad you brought that up. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. It's a very subtle color difference because I think if you put that up with the other, it could probably be somewhat confusing. So
no, it should no. This is a science fiction show. You don't need to be worried about people being confused. Kelly is on Titan, so we know it's Titan. It doesn't matter if they're the same color. That's not a good excuse. But is that what Ron D. Moore says, or who says that? Is that just a guess?
no, I think this is an assumption by some people in the fandom because it's like, why would they want to change the color to look that way? And I mean, I think it's the night side sort of deal, but we'll have to find out in the next few episodes.
We have a request in the chat, and you might fall out. Just warning. You didn't fall out.
No.
Is there air? You don't know.
So that was from Gavin. And Small Time Republic says, we made it to Titan before we got GTA 6.
Yep. I mean, it's true.
And so I want to go to Titan for a nice swim, says Gavin. Oh, but you're going to swim in the hydrocarbons.
Mm-hmm.
And Brogu 7. How are you, Brogu? What's going on? Good to see you today. And we stepped through the episode. Lance, I don't know if you're still out there, but if you mean to show up in the last minutes of the show, we've made it through. And it would be really cool to see you if you're still around. I don't know.
Yeah, but if not, don't hesitate to come in on the next one. We have 3 more.
That's right. Yeah, there are 3 more episodes, so you're more than welcome anytime. I was trying to see if he needed a confirmation in a different location. Can't seem to get to Twitter. Yeah, all right. And XCOM is increasingly not liking me typing in twitter.com, I think. I think it's starting to revolt. It's like, you gotta put in x.com. It's gonna be faster.
Interesting.
Okay, almost there. Just typing something in a different browser, which of course is very distracting, and I shouldn't be doing that, but I want to tell Lance that he is welcome in 2 places, 1 more place.
Yeah.
We've got well, I gotta wait for it to load, unfortunately. Oh, hey, is Scotty still here? Oh, Penny's saying hi to you, Scotty, if you're listening out there. Uh-oh. Oh, no, I shouldn't be looking at this. Okay, no, I'm not going to deal with that right now. I'll deal with that later.
No.
Nobody knows what I'm talking about, which is...
Mum's the word.
Yeah. And I'm sending it now. Hopefully he's around. I don't know if he's busy. If he's busy, that's okay. But yes, I'm happy when I see Scotty too. Oh, so we are approaching the end. This is good. This is well, and I'm super happy to have Titan in the mix, even though there will be some drama with Walt discovering Kelly's sabotage of his orders. At least it won't be. We'll get less of the stuff happening on Mars, but I know we have to resolve the Martian stuff. But at least now we've got something for something to make me a little happier. So I will be pretty happy from here on out. And that's probably why, like you said, they showed the first 8 episodes. And so this isn't even the pinnacle of whatever they wanted to show the people who got the early screenings.
Mhm.
So next episode must be even better. That's the conclusion I'm deciding to make.
It's a good bet. I mean, I feel like they do this thing where the last 2 episodes of every season are like a super episode. So
Yeah,
that
put
wouldn't
together.
surprise me. Yeah.
Well, one
So
thing I noticed is that last season they sort of had a varying degrees of different lengths of episodes. They'd have like one episode that's 90 minutes and another episode that's 60 minutes, and they didn't do that this season. Every season's been pretty on the nose, 60 minutes, and I'm wondering if they're going to start increasing in length.
I
As
think
we
this
go.
season is kind of like waffled between like 40 and 50 minutes, somewhere in that. But nothing's gone over an hour, I don't think.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I really mean, is that we have not exceeded an hour yet.
So yeah, I'm wondering if the last 2 are gonna, or at least like the one right before the end will probably be like a normal sized episode, but then the last one will probably be like a 90-minute or no more than that sort of deal. That's kind of how these finales have been so far.
Yeah. Yeah, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So sorry, I was distracted.
It's all right.
And let's see. Okay, I want to go back to the moon. I think I mentioned that already. I want to see what's going on with that base. I don't even remember what the base was called. Do you?
On the moon?
On the moon.
Yeah, Jamestown.
Jamestown. And I want to see how that's evolved. Like, are there theme parks? Do we have like lots of tourism going on? I can't wait to see the moon.
I mean, I'm imagining it's going to look something like, maybe not as anti-commercial as Ad Astra was, but it's definitely going to be built up and more of like partially like a tourist trap in some parts. But
yeah,
it's definitely more of
and
a livable
I
space.
would be one of those tourists. Like, I don't want to get involved with the drama and the exploration and everything, but to just go to the moon, I'd book a vacation.
It's still important to note that at this point in time, the moon is still split between the Russians and us. So, however that manifests over like the last few decades or whatever, it's going to be interesting to see how all that kind of played out, because it's been a while since we'd seen it.
Yeah, and that's true. Yeah, so that evolution will be fun, and so I'm just glad that we've made it. We made it. The season has started. Like, for me, it's like finally.
So, I mean, for me, it's I'm kind of just wondering where things are going, because if we only have that one more season after this, and every season has kind of ended on like, okay, what's going to be like the main driving plot of the next season. So, end of season 1, we got the idea that with the sea dragon, it was going to be something to do with like the militarization of space, and then end of season 2, it was okay, next season will be about going to Mars, and then season 3, it was like, okay, now we're gonna there's going to be something to do with the Russians and how that's going to work. And then, the end of last season, we were being told that, we haven't even seen the station all season, really. They've talked about it, but we haven't actually seen it. So, that's coming, because I know from the trailers, there's at least 3 things we haven't seen yet. We haven't seen any fighting on Mars between the two factions. The Marines are still inbound, as far as we're aware, and there's going to be some kind of an explosion on Kuznetsov Station. So that's just from the trailer. So I don't know how that's all going to pan out over these next 3 episodes, but oh yeah, I think there's a fourth thing I noticed in the trailer that I watched this last time I watched the trailer, where there's a shot of somebody on Titan in like the middle of a storm. So something has to happen on Titan. So we'll see how all these threads pan out. But ultimately, I think we're in an interesting position, and I'm looking forward to these last 3, even though it's going to be sad because we probably won't see another season for like 18 months or something, but still. I don't know if I lost you or not, but I'm not hearing you.
I'm sorry. I
Okay.
got a.
That's okay. I don't know how long you were talking. I'm sorry.
Oh no, that's okay. That's okay. But everything you said, that's everything. You said it all. It's good.
Mm.
So Real Wade Nation Gaming says, Jill's awesome. Thanks for the follow on Rumble. Yeah, I'm trying to follow everybody I can over there on Rumble because it's difficult to build a community over there. And so we're just searching in the dark. Like, the lights are off over at Rumble. And so you gotta turn them on one room at a time. And just as we got to connect to each other in that way as a relay. We're putting up relay points, lighting the torches for Gondor over there on Rumble.
Yeah, I haven't done anything with Rumble myself, but I'm thinking when I start relaunching my live streams, I'm probably going to stick to like simulcasting with because I think you can do it with X and you can do it with Facebook.
Fair
I'm not
enough. Yeah,
exactly sure the
Facebook would be
mechanics.
great, but I don't even have 100 followers on Facebook yet. So
No.
I can't do that
Yeah,
yet.
I think I just hit 900 on mine, so I don't know.
Damn. You really know how to work it over there. Good work. Good
There's
job.
something. I don't know. We'll see if that translates into anything,
Yeah,
tangible.
you might
Whatever the case is.
you might be that might be your place to stream.
Yeah,
That would be
maybe.
great. You never
Maybe
know.
we'll see if I've been considering Twitch, but I have no idea. I've never been on Twitch, so I have no idea how that works.
I'm confused with Twitch constantly.
Yeah. Okay. So if I find myself confused, I'll be in good company.
Yeah. Yep. Sorry, I have to. I was typing. I should close that window. Window closed. And hello to Canadian Spider-Man. Good morning, anti-derivative Jill and friends. Spidey sounds happy today, or at least I am injecting that happiness in him. I cannot tell for sure with the typing, but he does seem like he's having a good morning. And started Twitch and went to YouTube Rumble. Yeah, very good, very good. Yep, we're exploring the different platforms, just like Sojourner 2 is exploring Titan. And it's just this is a callback to why I watched the show to begin with. So I'm very, very glad at the direction it's going. And I'm very, very excited. Hopefully we'll get Lance on next time. I missed my window. I missed my window. just like Walt missed his window.
Yeah.
And Penny.
It'll be good to have him.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Like I know the show has to have drama and space opera, so it's good to finally get this. And we'll see what happens next time. We're all done. We're all done with the review. But I want to hear what Philip has to say about anything he wants to talk about, including promotions for whatever he wants to promote.
Okay. Well, thank you for that, Jill. Well, I mean, right now, still working some of the mechanics out about how I do video essays, because I think the thing that I've been like wading in the water with kind of getting those done. It's I'm a very slow editor, and so it's not very conducive to me doing them. I want to do them, but it's harder and harder to get some editor to do it for nothing. So I mean, I can't actually expect somebody to want to put that much work in for nothing. So I'm trying to figure out a way to kind of
Yeah,
still
that
do
makes sense.
them without putting as much effort, not as much effort, but not as much time
Oh,
in on it.
yeah.
They're very challenging. I mean, I've seen people do it
They are.
on YouTube before, where they edit the thing, but it's not like over edited. So I think that somewhere in between might be a better area for me to attack, and maybe just do what you do and kind of emphasize live streams more than just video essays, at least up front.
Mm.
Maybe do the video essays like once a month so that I can have enough time to actually do them properly.
Yeah, but don't
But
get too heavy into the live streaming because I have so little time for editing. Well, and especially since things are happening that have distracted me. But yeah, yeah, why
yeah,
not?
I'm
Why
thinking
not
of the
do more?
live stream stuff. At least I got to pick a very good day for that. But
Mm.
I think I might move to like a Friday, no, like a Monday or Friday thing. I have to decide, see what
Yeah,
happens. I mean, maybe I'll just ask you,
yeah,
see
whatever
what's
you
working
like.
with you, and see. But I mean, I'm still doing my stuff on the Fall channel. So if you're out there, it's Fall HQ 47. So it's going to still be the center of what I do for a while. I'm also doing some stuff on Substack. You can look up my name. It'll be there. I'm going to start posting more essays there, like actual standard essays rather than video essays. I'm finding that those are a lot easier to edit and manage and post.
Mhm.
So be on the lookout for that. I'm also going to post
Oh,
science
so
fiction short
blogging now.
stories there as
Okay,
well.
cool.
Yeah. So I mean, basically going to like modulate between YouTube and Substack for my
I've heard about
fiction
this
writing and my
Substack.
my literary
That's
stuff.
that's
So I'll be
interesting.
doing that. And then if you want to follow me on Facebook, you can. Instagram, I'm pretty much everywhere. So my name is pretty uncommon. There's another guy with a similar name, but he doesn't use two L's. I use two L's. The people that have one L and the three L, Philip, those two are evil. Don't trust them.
Oh,
So
don't.
outside of that, that's all I have to say right now. But I hope
Oh,
to see
no.
everyone again next week for the last three.
Yeah, the last 3 episodes is gonna be so good, and so we'll see what happens. I think things are only gonna get better. I
Oh yeah,
choose to believe
I
this,
have a
and
good
I hope
feeling about it.
everybody's having a good Wednesday. I know we don't normally stream on a Wednesday, so we'll be back next week on Tuesday as per normal, and
Mhm.
hopefully that is still a good time, for Lance to show up because I really do wanna see him, like
Yeah.
anyway, and also on Friday, we should be good to go to cover Unforgiven. It'll be my first Western, yeah,
Whoa,
my first Western on this channel.
that's a good one.
Yeah, so that'll be my first. And yeah, I am completely yeah, this is one where, sometimes I'll review a movie that's one of my favorites, and I love it, and I'm sharing a passion that I've carried my whole life, and sometimes I watch a movie I've never seen before, so I have not seen Unforgiven. So we
What
will
was the
see.
last
I will
movie
have experts. What's that?
What was the last movie you reviewed? That was the one that you sent me the request for.
Oh, yeah, Stand and Deliver. Yeah,
Okay, that's right.
I mistook you for another channel. Unfortunately,
I
I'm
mean,
sorry about that.
it happens.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
an easy
sorry about
mistake.
that mix up. No,
But
I've been
no, I mean,
making
if I had
mistakes.
known that you were doing that, because I mean, I've seen Stand and Deliver, and that's kind of like an inspiration for
Mhm.
how I try to conduct myself when I teach.
Well,
So yeah,
yeah, yeah, because when I saw a name that I thought it was you, I was like, "You know what? I think he might like this movie," so I went to go see.
Hmm.
But it was a mix up, but it would have been a good mix up if you were awake.
Huh. Well, I mean, I was awake. It was just like that's like usually at that time I'm like with my wife and we're like winding
Mhm.
down for the day.
Oh, yeah,
That's
yeah,
kind of the
you
routine.
definitely
So
need time with her for sure.
yeah,
She needs
so
her time
but had I
with
known,
me.
then it might have been a different thing. But
Mhm.
yeah, I
Gotcha,
mean,
gotcha.
you're covering some interesting stuff, and
Mhm.
yeah, Unforgiven's a good one. I won't be there for that one because the program here with the Masters Fine Arts, we're doing a poetry reading. So the people who are part of the poetry program of our MFA, they're the ones that are graduating this week. We did a fiction reading last week, so they split us up so that we can have our time to kind of read our work aloud to our families and our friends that are coming by. So I get to expect that in a year when I graduate, so that'll be fun.
Oh, neat. So Canadian Spider-Man says, "It's always good here. Cheers." Hi there, Penny, he says. And with that, we've done with the chat and make sure there's nothing on nothing on the Rumble side. I do have a Twitch bot asking people to go to my Ko-fi.
Hmm.
But okay, I need to figure out Twitch too. I don't understand it. It exists, but it's like I need to watch some tutorials or something
Yeah. Yeah, I think
because I don't know
I
what's happening there.
imagine I'd be okay with just doing the three between Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube.
Yeah. Well, and so I will see you guys next time. I hope you have a great rest of your Wednesday. Check out PCB tonight with Doomcock. They are going to be, let's see what movie they're covering. Pepper Hire will know what's going on. I can't search. For hire. Just oh, and that reminds me, I got to raid on the Rumble side, but I can't raid to PCB obviously because it's going to be later. But they are covering the Great Race at 7 p.m. Central Time. Check it out, 8 Eastern. Ooh, classic.
Interesting.
Yeah, right. I love when they cover old movies, and this is my favorite segment when they do that. Because there are so many things that are going wrong, and so it's important to remember what's gone right. And I like that very, very,
That's
very
true.
much. And so let me see who I can raid on Rumble. Who is live currently over on the Rumble side? We were checking, scanning, analyzing. Let's see.
Sensors are open.
Yes. And so hailing frequencies are being sent out. Who is here? What? Why is this loading so weird? Rumble is slow right now. Or something's going on. Okay, I don't know who this person is. It just has pictures. Like I want it to open up and tell me like what I'm actually looking at. I don't know what I'm looking at. It's just a picture of the channel. No, I don't want to rumble to that. It's not telling me. All right, let's go to there's Furious Dan. Yes, Furious Dan. He raided to me one time, so I'll raid to him this time. And there we go. Okay. He didn't come up. Furious Dan. I think he's live. Let's see. No. Oh, no. Classic Rock? Oh, he's not playing a game or something? That's weird. I don't want to. Okay. I'll raid to him when he's actually doing something. I don't know if anybody wants to watch that. Let's see. I am particular, guys. Who is this? Oh, Anwin. Okay. But you can go check out Furious Dan if you like classic music. Furious Dan is streaming classic music on his channel. I think though I will raid and win because he's playing a game. That looks like fun. Okay. So let's grab that link. And let's see. Where am I? I don't know where I am. All right, here we go. Will this work? Let's find out. Raid today will be continuing Eternal Strands and then okay, confirm the raid. So they're playing a game. And I have rated them so people can go check that out. And then on the YouTube side, we could raid somebody here too. Like that, it can also happen if I can find a good person that's live. Although that's something I should set up beforehand. This is a thing I can do. Oh, Latina Slant is alive. Then that's easy. If I have the capability to raid to him, I'm going to try that. So let's edit video. This is a rare opportunity because I'm usually not streaming when he's streaming.
Well, take your time.
Yeah. So this is the most exciting part of the show, raiding other people. Sorry, guys. I should have set this up beforehand. And so there are mechanics involved in this particular business. And raiding is fun, but it's also, you got to remember how to do it. And so let's see how it's going to work. And not my video. Why would I want to raid to my own video? I guess you could. That's interesting. See, no. Oh. Yeah, that's it. I think that's it. Is that currently live? Yeah, that one's currently live. So let me just double check just in case. I don't want to raid to the wrong one. So almost there. There's just everything's so very slow. Just
It's
like
very interesting.
No, it isn't.
I mean, I'm unfamiliar with I'm very unfamiliar with the mechanics of what you're doing, so it goes over my head.
Understandable. Yep. Okay, let's save it. And so now the YouTube raid is also set up. There we are. Okay, what do you write, Philip? Asked James Caserta.
Oh.
And Latino Slant is live, says Small Time Republic. Yes, right on. We were great minds think alike. Okay, so I'll let you answer that question.
Yeah, I know. I mean, generally speaking, I write science fiction, fantasy, and horror with more emphasis on like hard science fiction. These days, I'm kind of the opinion that if you liked Project Hail Mary, both the book or the movie, that's kind of the general area I'm supposed to hit. But I'm also I think I'm inside of fold in between Project Hail Mary because we do have like a humor thing with the writing I use, and then For All Mankind with sort of its alternate history, space exploration stuff. So we're kind of in a fold in between the two of them, at least with my major project, Explorer. So, yeah.
Yeah, James Caserta has his own science fiction Zortex, or I hope I pronounced that right, which is on Amazon. And
check that out.
Jamie got to 49 subs. Hooray. Okay, so I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for hanging out.
See you guys next week.
And yeah, bye.
Learn all that is learnable.
So I hope you learned something today.
And the ways our differences combine to create meaning and beauty.
I enjoy hearing what you have to say. So leave me a comment.
It has always been easier to destroy than to create.
So let's continue creating conversations and ideas.
May we together become greater than the sum of both of us.
Share out the stream to bring more here. Bye for now. See you next time.
Well, now you have something new to think about. Carry on.
Well, what do you know? I finally got the last word.